I'm wearing, I guess what my friends call my farmer fit, because it's plaid and it's overalls, and half my closet is just plaid shirts. I'm not sure if that speaks to Iowan culture, or if that's just how I was raised. I'm very inherently Iowan too. I feel a lot of Iowa pride, and my friends will miss no opportunity to make fun of me being from Iowa. I get what they call Iowa slandered every day. I passed a friend today and he told me you could not be more Iowan, and then walked away because of what I was wearing. You can take the girl out of Iowa, but you can't take Iowa out of the girl. So I'm very proudly Iowan. My name is Shristi. I go to school at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and Duke University. I'm 18 years old.
I think the first time Shristi actually mentioned the situation was still at that camping trip. We were under the starlit sky. You were there. I remember us all talking about that. And one of the things that really struck me at the moment was how Shristi said, she wasn't always open about this, but recently she had begun to, I guess, flesh out more of these details to other individuals. And to me, even though I was vaguely aware of the alphabet soup that consists our immigration system and the laws and reforms that go about it, hearing this from someone I knew so personally, just felt so odd that we could never guess these things, but they still persist and prevent individuals like Shristi, who are some of the most hardworking, passionate individuals I know, from actually considering themselves as an American and being able to participate in this nation as fully as, I guess, someone like me, who would take citizenship, I guess, more for granted being born here.
All of my formative memories have been after I've come to the US. Everything that I know about, this is how you used to be in India, is just coming from my parents, from my extended family. And I have picture books, and that's basically all my memories of India. Okay, so these are all of my memories of India through pictures, really. This is a birthday party. It's my grandparents. So I was born in Kolkata, actually, in India, and I was raised there until the age of 5. And then my dad moved here to the United States for his master's program. And soon after, my sister, she was newborn, me and my mom followed. My sister is still in Iowa. Sometimes we joke because she was 10 months old when she came to the United States. I was 5, she was 10 months. And she often says stuff like, I want to be president one day. And then very recently she found out that you actually have to be a natural born citizen to be the president of the United States. And so her heart was kind of crushed for a few months, but she's picked it back up. She has a best friend who she always jokes will become the president, and then she'll become the vice president. My dad, he's very highly educated, and my mom also now has 2 master's degrees, and they're both in the US. Their goal was, first of all, to get an education for themselves, but secondly, and maybe more importantly, a better education for my sister and I. We come from parts of India where it's really rural, and there's not a lot of gender equity or equality. They were actually really, really happy to have not 1, but 2 daughters. I got into computer science in 4th grade, and my dad was like, hey, have you heard about online courses? And he introduced me to the University of Michigan's Python Programming for Everybody course. I remember just being able to see something that I had written pop up on screen was amazing to me. Of course, I used to build with Legos and things like that, but this was completely different. I could make anything I wanted, and I just had to type. I didn't know it was a college course at that time. I just did it, and I was so interested. I just powered through the entire course. I didn't have any friends who programmed. I didn't actually have any teachers who programmed or anything like that. Our school didn't offer computer science as a class that time. And I didn't know anybody in the community who did. So my goal was, hey, let's create a Girls Who Code club because I want to make friends with other girls who code. And since there weren't any, I was going to make other girls who code. So I created a club for 6th through 12th grade girls. And that was really successful. And so eventually I transferred it to 3rd through 5th grade girls too. And we had some kindergartners in there, which was a little bit of a challenge, but really fun to see like girls as old as 4 years old getting really into building these animations on screen. Right now they're still running, which makes me really happy. Girls are very interested in science and engineering and math and STEM when they're in elementary school, but there's this drop-off that happens in middle school because of societal expectations where you'll see that girls are not as interested in STEM fields anymore. They'll leave it to the guys. And that's something that I wanted to actively combat because I was raised to believe that girls can do whatever they wanted to, and I just wanted to pay that forward in some way. I want to continue to close the gender gap in technology as I grow older. First of all, by myself as being a part of the technology community, but also to get other women interested in joining too. So my parents are on an H-1B visa and I'm a dependent on their H-4 visa. Every 2 years this gets renewed. Right now I'm on an H-4, but before I've been on an F-2 and on a J-2, different dependent statuses. Every time it's going through an extension, there's always a chance that it will get denied. And it has before, and you just have to reapply, re-request it, and that's a really long process. These are all just dependent visas. This in no way gives me a path to permanent residency or citizenship. I've lived here for 14 years now, and I'm still on a dependent visa. I'm still counted as an international student. I wasn't eligible for federal aid, financial aid, so I was helping my friends fill out FAFSAs, but at the same time researching what are some scholarships for international students, and it turns out there are not that many. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I would be able to afford college just with the way things were looking. I was really fortunate to get a full ride to Duke University and University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. That was when I was like, oh, okay, things are looking up, like it'll work out. And then I found out about self-deportation. This is not just a one-time thing. When I turn 21 and I age out of my parents' dependent visas, where do I go? Right now, my options are I can apply for my own student visa, which is what I'm doing right now. That in itself is a really long process. I can go back to India and effectively self-deport, which would not be my first option by any means. Really trying to do everything I can to avoid that reality, because that would mean I have to separate from my family. Everything that I've done for the past 14 years, we built a life for ourselves here, that would basically be meaningless and I'd have to start all over again. Even switching to an F1 visa, which is a student visa, would kind of mean the same thing because I wouldn't get to retain my parents' original filing date for our permanent residency, which was back in 2014. So all of those years of waiting, of maintaining legal status, doing everything that we can to stay legal, count for nothing, and then I have to start over again when I turn 21. In high school, I had teachers and other community members tell me that they would adopt me in a heartbeat. And I was like, this is very sweet of you, but there's a lot of emotional baggage that comes with being adopted at a very old age because of visa issues. And it's just sad that that's what you have to resort to. Or people would joke and be like, why don't you just marry one of your classmates? They're American citizens, you could, and then you could just get divorced later. And I was, no, that's not the point. Why are we making it so difficult for people who have come here legally, who have maintained legal status, to then have to do all of this mental gymnastics with the immigration system just to stay in the country? That makes no sense to me. American is not just one type of person. We always talk about the US being like that bowl, right? You come in with different values, different cultures, and you're not exactly assimilating where you become this one American. It's just you add to the salad different flavors, different tastes. Being an American means having the common dressing, a common set of values. For me, that means freedom of choice, of thought, of movement, all those types of things that you probably wouldn't be afforded in every other country in the world right now. Being able to see all the strengths of being an American, but also what are our weaknesses? Where are we lacking? Where can we improve? Being able to actually go to Capitol Hill and talk to senators and talk to representatives with Improve the Dream was really a life-changing experience for me. It was the first time I got to see the inner workings of how this works. I saw that people did care about what I had to say. People teared up when we shared our stories, and that meant the world to me. That meant that we were connecting on like a human, emotional level and not just policies and laws and bills. Like, we were talking about stories. That's really what makes the government, and I didn't realize that. I thought we had moved way past that human part of it. Really nice to see that there are people on the Hill that actually care. It is, in fact, a government for the people, by the people.